right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are here at Cards and Culture on the Purple Couch, and I'm here with a very special guest. I appreciate you, Dylan Cruz. I know you have a million things going on. You guys just literally got in from Ole Miss last night, whooping that ass a little bit, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So thank you. I appreciate it. It's your off day. Thank you for making the time.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I mean, love this place. My first time here, so.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome spot.
It's an excuse to get people in the door. That's it. Have a conversation on the couch. It'll be good. But usually, I mean, you just heard me talk about you a little bit before we threw the mics on, but I always try to let the guests give a 2-minute rundown of who they are, where they come from, that kind of stuff, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Yeah, so I'm Dylan Cruz. I'm from Longwood, Florida, born and raised. I played baseball growing up since I was like 5 years old. Probably you do the same thing, honestly. So, throughout the recruiting process and in high school, I think I got my first offer. I was like 8th grade. It was like a summer going into my freshman year. So something like that.
So crazy.
Yeah. And then, and LSU was interested in me. I think it was around freshman year. And then, it was kind of like an eye opener, it was like, wow, like LSU is known for, the fan base here. The food is unbelievable. So, it was always on my mind constantly. Like I want to visit LSU, see what it's about. And I came here, man. It was just like every box was checked off.
I love it.
Took many visits here.
When did you actually commit?
September of my sophomore year.
Okay. And so you have to back then, I know they just changed all the recruiting rules and all that stuff. But back then you had to come on campus, right, and commit, or that was the way that you did it?
So I did it over the phone, actually. Okay. Yeah, I did it over the phone. I think, I forget where exactly I was at, but I just randomly one day I was like, man, I can't stop thinking about LSU.
Let's go.
It just, I feel like this is the place that, every box was just checked off, and I just felt like at that moment, this was the right time. And I called Coach Kane at the time, and I was like, man, I want to be a Tiger. This is it. I want to be a Tiger. And he was pumped up. Coach Maneri was pumped up. Yeah. So it was a good feeling.
What were some of the other schools that you were considering with LSU?
Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and if you notice, they both got national championships. So I think this year is meant to be.
Yeah, so exactly. This is your year. That's so funny. I still think you made the right decision, and this year's 100%. Team is really fun. So we're happy you did, 100%. So talk to me a little bit about so I grew up in New Jersey, and when I came down, I did the same thing. I came on my visit, but I was a little older than you, and so we didn't have texting and all that stuff, and I committed on the spot when I was here. I checked all the boxes, same thing. But I didn't have that background of baseball. My parents didn't play sports or anything. What was your family like, and your parents and experience? And stuff?
I mean, they enjoyed it. They probably had more fun than I did throughout the whole process, Even
the recruiting process and the tournaments and everything?
Yeah, they having a blast, and part of the reason why I decided to come to LSU was for them. I wanted them to experience this just as much as, I would experience this. And like I said, they are having a blast. Got an RV for them. They are traveling every weekend to every place that we go. So it's unbelievable. They've made, so many new friends and just had a complete blast. And that's what it's all about here. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Your dad and my dad would have been best friends back in the day. No joke. My dad did the exact same thing. Bought an RV. Every weekend he would leave on Thursday, get down here Thursday night. We'd go to dinner. I'd pitch Friday. He'd stay all weekend, tailgate with everybody and everything. And I've developed a relationship with your parents as well. And dude, George is the man. He's the ringleader up there. It's fucking awesome. I love seeing it. And so to me, that's a selling point too for the university, right? When new kids come in out of state, everything, it makes them feel at home, and it has that sense of family.
100%. They call him the mayor down here. Everybody knows him. It's weird. I'll have people come up to me and just tell me, dude, your dad is amazing.
He's a legend.
Yeah. Same with my mom too. My mom, both of my parents, they're just great people. And I'm very thankful, and I'm glad they're having a great time. Just same place. What a wonderful place this is, and just
it really is. It's special, and that's what it's why people come from New Jersey and Florida, and DJ LeMahieu from Michigan and California and stuff like that. So And your parents really are, they're special people. I've met them a handful of times. We've done, a project together here and there. So just the way that they carry themselves too, because there could be a lot of arrogant parents out there when 100%. Your kids are pretty good and all that stuff. So I've always appreciated that experience with them too. And something I was telling Joe and some of the other kids here, I say kids, but guys that work here and girls that work here at the shop, was something I've always appreciated about you was the way that you carried yourself from day one. When you showed up as a freshman, there was a lot of hype, right? The draft and all that stuff. Do you get that from your parents? Is that you? Like, how's that?
Yeah, obviously my parents taught me a lot growing up. As a kid, around 10 to 12 years old, probably earlier than that, like they would put me in like tough situations to like teach me how to get out of it and learn how to grow mentally. And it's just, I was a 12-year-old. I got put like, I was in a warehouse type, like a Rocky style atmosphere, like working out and hitting. And, like my tee, like the tee that I had was like a PVC pipe, like with duct tape wrapped around it. And every time it'd like break, we just re-tape it up. And like, it was placed in a bucket, and like the pipe was placed in a bucket, and you put like cement in it to like make sure it was staying there. Yeah. And that was my tee. And like, I would hit the tire every day, like just like making sure that I'm being thankful for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it all started at a young age. And then throughout high school, I would always play up. I was a 2020 playing in the 2019 class since I was like in 7th grade. So from 7th grade all the way up to like my junior year, I played up. And so it made like the transition really easy coming into college, playing up or playing with the older guys and, playing with some tough competition.
Absolutely.
So there was a lot of hype coming in, but I soaked it all in and, I just played the game that I've always been playing really. Yeah. So
it really has been amazing me. Sorry. Thank you for everybody who's listening. Lila just made an appearance. So if you guys are listening to the audio and you hear some weird licking noises, that's my dog right here. She's chilling. Dylan has a Frenchie too, so he feels comfortable. But I think one of the things that I've always appreciated too about you was the ability to separate that. And it seems so simple for you, just playing the game that you did your whole life. Mm-hmm. How have you, especially too, I think sometimes I feel like I like praise you so much, but like I didn't have the phones. I didn't have it I had a laptop that barely worked, half the time and everything to read articles and bullshit, So like with social media, everything like that, how do you keep yourself grounded?
Yeah. I mean, it's just limiting all that stuff. All that stuff is distractions at the end of the day. It's just outside noise. And for me, none of that stuff matters. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's something that could help you. It's something that could hurt you. And it all depends on how you take it. But I just try and, not listen to all that outside noise and just focus on the present and be where my feet are every single day. That was something that I struggled with in high school. Throughout high school, like I have no memories in high school, really. Like really? I was so worried about like the future and like the next level.
Wow.
Like I didn't, it's something that I kind of regret, but like, with regret is something you can either learn from it or it'll eat you up. So I learned from it. I moved forward, and since I got to college, I've learned how to be present every single day. Yeah. And it's been awesome. Just be where my feet are every day and enjoying every moment. So it's good.
I swear, like I don't know if it's because of the phones and the information era, but how old are you?
21.
21. Like, just to have that insight and that awareness to be like present where my feet are and to have the experience of high school, thinking about the future and the next level so much already. Yeah. I feel like you guys are so much more mature than I was at 21 years old. It's crazy. So talk to me a little bit about that decision to decide to come to school. Cause didn't you decide pretty early and you were kind of like consensus first rounder, top pick, right? That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I committed sophomore year and, it was a tough decision. I remember I was like, man, I want to go into the draft. Like I want to do this. Like, but every day I was thinking about LSU. It was like, man, this is an opportunity like not many kids get. And I would take my visits here and just see how much fun everybody's having. And I'm thinking like, man, my parents could come here have a blast like I would. And, you know, I was visiting when, you know, Kramer was over there and all the guys, and they all had these cool cleats, and I'm like, dang man, like I need to have some cool cleats if I come here too. And so I would, you know, I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna trust my gut here, and I'm gonna take myself out of the draft. I'm gonna go to college, and let me tell you, it's the best decision I've ever made in my life. You know, at the time I didn't feel like personally I was the best player that I could be leading up to the draft, and I wanted to prove to everybody that I'm still the same guy that I was, you know, that I've always been. Yeah. So yeah, I decided to take my name out of the draft and come here. And like I said, best decision I've ever made. Made some awesome memories, awesome friends, and just been awesome, man.
Hopefully the memories are going to continue to go. You're going to add some championships to that resume and everything too. So yeah, we're glad you did too. Talk to me a little bit about now. I think today's world too, right? Like there's so much hype, and I'm focusing on this because I really think it's so important, and especially so many kids put pressure on themselves. And I see 10, 11, 12-year-olds come in here all the time. They actually watch my podcast and stuff like that and tell me that they watch those episodes, and I know they're going to watch it with you. So talk to me a little bit about pressure and maybe some advice you could give a 10, 12, 15, even a kid going into college, you know, or trying to go through that recruiting cycle, you know, some advice for him. And
yeah. I mean, really just soak it all in at the end of the day. Like pressure is a privilege for yourself, you know. You know, it's okay to feel pressure. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel pressure every single day, but it's something that I've learned how to take in and slow down almost, you know, just be thankful every single day. You know, it's good. You know, I mean, like I said, pressure is a privilege. Not many people kind of get that pressure, and
pressure is a privilege.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's something that I've learned how to be thankful for almost. You know what I mean? And you know, just go out there, like I said, play the same game I've always been playing. That's it, really.
It really is amazing to me because I remember, so I went to play ball in Korea after, you know, 2016, 17, this is at the end of my career. And that's the first time that I heard things like that you just said. And for you to say that at 21 years old, and I remember listening to a lot of podcasts and understanding, like, if you can change your mindset to gratitude and be thankful for the things that you have, you know, and change your perspective on the way that you see pressure or the way that you see yourself and everything. And it's like, damn, 21 years old, you have that shit already. I love that. But I mean, it's why you are who you are and doing the things that you do. So I love that. And I think people should appreciate that. So every kid that's out there that hears that, just understand that, be present where you are, be appreciative of where you are, and have some perspective on that stuff. So I like that. That's a good piece. Yeah. All right, so talk to me a little bit about this year. Let's get into this year. You've had a great college run. You've checked every single box. You are who everybody said you were, you know, and everything. So I think you overcame that pressure and proved that to people. So let's talk about this year and the coaching change. Well, I guess you had a coaching change last year, but this is really his first kind of year operating everything. And talk to me about this year's team. What's your take on it? Where you guys are at and everything?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, this is kind of like his first full year. Yeah. Last year was kind of like I would say an adjustment period. We kind of had two eras kind of working in the same team. So it was kind of tough, but you know, I loved Coach Maneri and that whole coaching staff, like great people. But you know, it was very, very fortunate to have Coach Jay and his coaching staff come over, and I've learned a lot of things. You know, I've learned a lot of things, how to slow the game down, how to be, like I said, present, be me at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Learning how to really just like breathe almost, you know, it's something you don't really think about when you're up there, you know, but like I said earlier, you know, with the pressure, it's really, really hard to kind of slow things down. And I learned a lot how to slow everything down, take a deep breath, take a step back too, almost. And it's been great. You know, the transition's been good. The team's feeling good with the coaching staff. Everybody's on board, so really excited to see how we do the rest of the season, and you know how the Tigers do in the future.
Dude, you said something about breathing. So I remember I had Blake Money on at the end of last year before the summer and everything, and then I had Paul on earlier this year, and each one of you now you guys have all talked about breathing, and I think Jay brought in somebody, right, that has kind of taught you guys that stuff. So talk to me, because breath work is really, really important to me nowadays too. So talk to me how that's improved your performance.
Yeah, that stuff has really improved my performance a lot. we do a lot of visualization stuff.
Nice.
Really, a lot of visualization stuff before every game. We take everybody and we go into the batting cages, and everybody lays on the floor for about 5 minutes and on our backs and just closing our eyes or staring at the ceiling and just visualize our successes. And
is somebody like reading things out to you guys, or is it your own personal
Coach
stuff?
Jay is, he's talking about, just slow the game down, just visualize yourself succeeding, take it play by play, pitch by pitch, just little stuff like that. And it just really slows your heart rate down, allows you to be present. And, it's been good, I take that into almost like before every at bat, really. Like just in the on deck circle or in the, when I'm in the hole, just really getting my breath under control, doing like the military breathing technique, a 4 second in, 4 second hold, and then a 4 second out. And then it's crazy how something like that can just change and just change your whole heart rate, your whole
physiology.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Everything. I'm telling you, like, you just do something little like that, and man, it's
insane.
Yeah. I don't know the science behind it, but it's just.
I've actually studied it the last couple of years, because when I got done playing ball, I was like, I know there's something wrong. Like, my body wasn't functioning right. And it actually was. All of my breathing mechanics were wrong. And I think that I got into this weird phase of breathing with my mouth and certain things and lifting my shoulders, right? So once I understood breathing mechanics and how that actually affects your movements and your performance, it was game changing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And obviously the mental stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know, like something little like going up to the plate and having your mouth open when you're at the plate. Like, I don't know if you watch like big leaguers all the time, they have their mouth open. It just relaxes your face muscles, and something little like that just it'll improve your performance. I mean, I believe, like,
nuts.
I'm up there and my mouth is wide open just because.
So talk to me about that, because one thing that I've been messing around with is tongue posture too, like where your tongue sits in your mouth, even when your mouth is open, closed, nasal breathing, all of that. So like, what's the mouth open thing? Just like you said, kind of relaxes your jaw.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you're just up there with your mouth closed, your more face tense. Muscles gets tense. You know what I mean? And it affects your vision almost to a way where you're tensed up. Yeah. You open your mouth, you can kind of instantly feel how everything just releases, and it just improves your vision. And something. I love that. Yeah, something little like that.
And there's so much science now too. We have fMRI systems where you can like link things up to your brain. You can see your brain activity, breathing, and properly breathing, doing that 4 breath in, 4 breath hold, 4 breath out. Yeah. Actually shows that you can be in a more parasympathetic state. You can relax a lot more. You can breathe. I mean, you can think a lot more clearly, right? And when you're about to recognize a pitch that's spinning and breaking at the last second, right? That's pretty critically important.
It is.
That little bit of edge can give you like a huge advantage going forward. And something too, I did have Jay on the podcast too, and he talked about visualization, and I'm really into like brain science. And so another thing too is the brain doesn't recognize a realized event or a thought event. Yeah. So good and bad, you can put your brain in a panic state, or you can put your brain in a relaxed state, right? Like for me, when I came out for the 2nd or 3rd inning, that mound felt comfortable. I'd had my feel, right? Same probably
That's
for you.
That's the same way. Yeah, 100%. Like, I would be going back and thinking about like my 2nd or 3rd AB, thinking about how that one was different than my first one. And it's almost like, okay, well, my first AB, I'm relaxed. I'm seeing the baseball. And then my third AB comes around, and like, I'm over there just, not really thinking. I'm over there just like, I want to get a hit right here. Or like, I want to expand and do this. But no, like, at the end of the day, do what you do to get you to that point. And so, that's something I'm still learning how to do. And it's a constant growth, but that's something,
it's a process, and you're always perfecting your process, and when you're 15 years in the big leagues, you're going to be perfecting your process. It'll probably be a little bit more solidified, but there'll be days that you got to change things, and it's just continuously learning yourself, learning your mind, and your body's going to change over time. So you're going to have to change certain things. So.
Yeah, I'm big on like the mental game. I'm really big. Like, this game is so hard. Like, you got to understand, like, a lot of it, most of it is mental, and like, how can I take that? How can I get that advantage over somebody else? And I'm big on that. Just.
It's everything. There's so many, and especially when you get to the night, you're going to know that, right? Like, everybody up there can play. Everybody's similarly built, and there's going to be people, and you're one of them that has that physical skill set that's different. But then if you have between the ears too, it's like, oh, it's game over. This is like
separator.
Exactly. And that's how you separate yourself from the average player to being great, like to being all time and all that stuff too. So that's why I just love picking people's brains and hearing what they do.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific thing, like when you step up to a bat, like so when I was pitching, right, my focus point was always at a certain point. Do you have like a bat, like a point in your bat or anything?
Yeah. I mean, I'll look at the logo on my bat, or I'll look up in the sky, down in like the right field section, something to just, it's like that focal point. We talk about that a lot, at the field. You know, we have somebody come in and they talk about focal points and which one is yours. Some guys it's the foul pole, some guys it's the bat, their cleats, something like that. But
I always had that. If I was like 2-0, 3-0 or something like that, I would just step off. And I just always remember it was the scoreboard above on the left field, or like above the grandstand over there. Like, and I would just look at it for a couple seconds. Like I would literally like almost count how many little light bulbs were in the thing and just be like, all right, cool, I'm good. I'm locked in. Like back in it.
It's crazy.
Let's go. Yeah.
Something little like that.
And it's almost like to reset your mind too, because you're thinking about so many other things, and it's just like, all right, this is simple. I've done this a million times.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. So talk to me a little bit about, I don't want to bring it up, but I mean, the numbers this year. Your numbers are they are so impressive. So how do you focus on winning and that kind of stuff when, you know, people are making a big deal about your numbers and bringing that stuff up constantly?
Yeah, I mean,
same thing, right?
Yeah, I try and keep things as simple as possible, honestly. I mean, I keep saying, you know, just trying to be where my feet are and like all that type of stuff. But, you know, like we talked about it earlier, like all the boxes checked off. There's one thing that's not checked off, you know, that's a national championship. So, you know, I keep that on my mind every single day. You know, I just want to do me and play my game every single day. And hopefully if I just play my role, you know, we'll end up there.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely. It starts with leadership. You guys have the talent, you know that. So what do you think it is? You've now played 2 college seasons. You said it, you know, Ole Miss and Mississippi State have won championships, and obviously that's number 1 on your list. What's going to be the difference separator? What do you think for this team this year?
Yeah, I think somebody asked me this not too long ago. I think it was really just, you know, being the number 1 team in the country. I think we've had the most amount of weeks consistently being the number 1 team in a long time. So I think there's a certain, for us, there's a certain expectation that we have to bring to the field every single day. Practice, game days, off days, really. Yep. You know, in-season discipline, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Yep. You know, there's a certain expectation you have to bring to the field every single day, being number 1 in the country. There's you know, it's just, if you bring that every single day, everything will kind of take care of itself. Absolutely. And so, yeah, just keep doing what we're doing, you know, never get too comfortable, and hopefully we'll you know, get to Omaha and compete for a championship. I
think you guys have all the right pieces for it, right? And it's just a matter of keeping your guys the right mindset and the clubhouse presence, all that stuff. I'll let you get out of here, enjoy your off day here in a couple minutes. But one thing I think, you know, what makes a good team is being able to stop a losing streak, or not a streak, but after a loss, the bounce back, right? I'm not 100% sure on it, but I don't think you guys have lost 2 games in a row this year. What's something that Coach Jay instills in you guys in the clubhouse after a loss to get you guys right for that next bounce back?
You know, I don't really think it's Coach Jay. I think it's just the team, really. Okay. They understand, like, you know, there's something about LSU. It's like the heart about this team is just like, man, we have too much respect for ourselves to go out there and you know, I say to lose 2 in a row, but we always bounce back right away after a loss. And I think that's what's special about this team. You know, we never take anything for granted. We go out there and we prove to ourselves and prove to everybody that, you know, we're still the number 1 team in the country. So, you know, we haven't, knock on wood, but we haven't lost 2 in a row. So we're just going out there, you know, proving to ourselves every day. And that's it, really.
I love it. Give me some insight into the clubhouse of like, what's something people don't know about? Who's a team leader, right? When we were there, it was Buzzy Haydell, Chris McGee, Nick Ponifs, Bo Didier, the guys that you wouldn't see on the field, but like, who are some of the clubhouse leaders and the guys that are keeping it light?
Man, we got so many leaders, honestly. You know, you got Paul Skeens. He's
Is he a character?
Oh yeah, he's a character.
Bro, he was sitting here and he was so stiff, and he was like, "Look," I'm like, "Bro, loosen up.
Yeah,
let me see your personality."
He's completely different in the locker room for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes me happy though.
Yeah, he's a character. Him, Dugas, Dugas number 8. He's a very good leader. You got Beloso.
That would have been my guess, was Beloso. He's a leader in the clubhouse, like one of the ringleaders.
For sure. So we got everybody's their own little leader in their own way. Yep. That's we don't have like the captains, the seed on the jersey. Yeah. Like everybody's their own type of leader in their own way. And we don't really rely on one person to kind of lead this team. It's everybody.
I mean, you even saw it yesterday, the walk-off homer, right? Like a guy that hadn't been playing, contributing, like does this, and he comes in, does like everybody embraces him, bro. I'm like, this is and if you know what a winning team in a championship, they have those little jokes, those inside things, those things that are carried for life.
Exactly. And that goes back to like the thing when I was saying about the heart of this team. You know what I mean? You can't get comfortable when there's one strike left on this team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You gotta
literally 0-2.
Yeah. You gotta stand your toes, and I think we're one swing away from doing something pretty crazy, pretty special, and that's what we did this weekend, and it was pretty awesome. That was one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life, honestly.
The 3-1 homer.
Just the situation and everything, like it all happened with 2 outs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like drew a walk, hit by pitch, and we're, hey, Hayden, come here, and then comes in and. He's got the Oaks on. He's got the big old elbow pad on. It was
like Jack Parker from was Major League or whatever. I'm like, dude, he is just so show right now.
Yeah, I love it. And he just goes up there and hits an absolute nuke with 2 strikes.
Got the mustache.
Yeah, he lets everybody know too.
Yeah, he did. He fucking walked halfway to first base. I love it.
I love it.
You should. When you get a game or a go-ahead homer in the 9th, you let everybody know. And it's pinch hit.
Yeah.
We were sitting here, it was Joe, Mikey, and I sitting here. It was a slow day on the shop yesterday, and we were watching it. And we saw the go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 8th. I'm like, damn, that's so tough to come back from. Like, they're about to get 3 outs in the 9th, quick 2 outs, right? It was a walk first, right?
Yeah.
I was like, 2-out walks, I'm telling you. I literally said it in here. Yeah, and he hit a batter. I was like, hey, hit a batter. It's in your head. And then the pinch hit. I'm like, there's nothing bigger. I shouldn't say nothing bigger, but I'm like, it's got to be one of the bigger things in the sports to come off the bench and hit a walk-off. I mean, not a walk-off, but a go-ahead homer in the 9th. And for a coach to be like, you know what? Who am I going to pick? You're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's got to be such a good moment for you guys. That's so cool.
I couldn't be happier for that guy. I mean.
Happy bus ride home to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Just, laughs and playing Mafia on the way home. It was just awesome.
That's the best. Yeah. That's good. And you had a good weekend too, man. It was fun to watch you. You did great on Saturday. Obviously, you scored pretty much being the whole offense. But dude, it's been a pleasure really watching your journey, watching what you do every single day, and taking the field the way you do. And the reason that I really wanted to have you on the podcast is just to put that out there, because I feel like in this world, everybody wants to be who you are, and I think you carry yourself the way that everybody in the world should carry themselves, whether they are or aren't you. You know, so I think. Just keep being you, man, and keep doing the things you do, because I think you're setting up a whole generation. You're setting a great example for a whole generation, and I hope you keep doing it for another 20-something years. And when we look back on this, you're one of the greatest to play. So I've appreciated watching you in an LSU uniform as a former LSU player. I know I'm going on a little rant here, but I just want to show the appreciation and for you making time coming in here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to leave everybody to know about Dylan Cruz? Anything under the hood?
I don't know. I mean,
like a cat person, anything weird or anything?
No. I'm a Frenchie guy. Man, I don't know. Best time of my life here. I think for younger guys, I think college is not your enemy. You know what I mean? I think going, at the time, a lot of guys want to just kind of skip college and go straight to the draft. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I had something to say to younger guys, it would be, if you're going to college, like it's the best time that I've ever had, and it's worked out for me, and it can work out for you too. So, enjoy it. I've had a great time. Again, it's not your enemy. It's something that can really help you develop as a player and as a person, and can really get you ready for the next level. So,
and I think it gets you ready for life too, right?
Exactly.
Like, look at me, my career, I was on a similar path that you're on, right? And didn't work out for me, but I've had this great place to fall back on and to make a home of, 100%.
So you make so many great friends and connections, you know, it, like you said, it sets you up for years in the future. So.
All right, my dude. Well, go enjoy your off day. I know you don't get too many of them, but thank you again for making the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.